Hi guys, today I'm going to be teaching you how to name Roman numeral ionic compounds. So let's take a look at the first example. We have COS, or cobalt and sulfur. So cobalt is a transition metal, so we don't know its exact charge, but we do know the charge of sulfur. Sulfur has a charge of -2, and to balance the -2 out, we're going to need cobalt to be +2. So to write this, it's going to be cobalt, and then in parentheses the Roman numeral 2, because we've decided that it needs to have a charge of 2. And then the last element, which is sulfur, but you're going to add an IDE to the ending. So it's going to be sulfide. There you have it, cobalt 2 sulfide. Now let's move on to the second example, FeBr3. Again, Fe is a transition metal, so we don't know its exact charge, but we know that Br has a charge of -1. And since there are 3 of them, this is going to equal a charge of -3. To balance out the Fe, we're going to need a charge of +3. So we're going to write it, and it's going to be iron, in parentheses, the Roman numeral 3, because it needs to have a charge of 3, and then bromine. So remember how this ended with IDE? We're going to need to do the same thing here. So we take off the ending of bromine, which ends in INE, and replace it with IDE. So it's going to be iron 3 bromide. Now we're going to switch it up. So we have tin 2 nitride. So tin is a transition metal, and its formula is SN. And then nitride is actually nitrogen, so it's N. Alright, so this Roman numeral is telling us that tin has a charge of 2. So we're going to write 2 up here. And we know that nitrogen has a charge of -3. But 2 and -3 doesn't balance the compound out. So how are we supposed to balance it out? We need to find a common number to multiply both these numbers to, so it equals 0. So if you multiply -3 twice, you're going to get, times 2, you're going to get -6. Now, what can you do to get +6 so this balance out? Well, you're going to need to multiply this by 3. So 2 times 3 equals 6. So that means that this is going to be SN3N2. Easy. Now let's look at the last example. We have cobalt 3 iodide. So cobalt, which is CO, and then iodide, which is iodine, is I. So it's telling us that cobalt has a charge of 3. So let's just write that right above cobalt. And iodine has a charge of -1. That doesn't equal 0. So the only way that we're going to be able to balance this is if we do the crisscross method. So you take the charge on both and you just simply crisscross it down to the bottom like this, like an X. So this charge of 3 on cobalt is going to go down to I, and then this -1 goes to cobalt, so it just stays the same. So your ionic compound is COI3.